Annie and everyone, feel free to join in our little doll conversation. Annie has a channel too, so go check it out. Annie says she would love to see my integrity collection, but Annie, I'm not just going to do that, or else you would see pretty much a bunch of dudes. Okay, so we're also going to go to my sister's house and check out her collection. I was going to ask her some questions while checking out her Integrity Girl dolls, but it turns out she's horrible at responding to direct questions about dolls. Though I did find out some interesting things. While we talk, we could do this look around my shelves and I'll point out which ones are Integrity. First off, you asked, was there a time when Integrity wasn't so serious and full of themselves? The answer is both yes and no. You see, Integrity has several lines of dolls. They have Poppy Parker, who has more of a baby face and a fragile body. Think Barbie extra regular bodies. They have East 59th, whose sculpts and makeup style lean toward 1950s or classic aesthetics to me. Meteor dolls, which designs are going to be more dynamic or otherworldly, more likely to do something unexpected like an alien doll. East 59th and Meteor have larger boobs. Then there's Industry, a doll with a more modern aesthetic and flat chest. And there's also Color Infusion, or Gem. Yes, the Gem and the Holograms cartoon doll band from the 80s, whose 40th anniversary is here. Notable for having larger hands and feet comparable to Naturalistas. The Integrity dolls that most of us are familiar with, though, is fashion royalty. And as the name suggests, they are from a royal line. A bunch of snobby, stuck-up dolls that at times can feel overpriced. If you go to my description, I'll put a link to Integrity doll info, which has a character overview of some of the dolls. These dolls were designed with a character arc in mind. It's not an official website, but I rely on them a lot. It shows an overview of the characters from 2001 to 2006. In my opinion, this suggests that they stopped bothering with creating character backstories for the dolls after 2006, which would also mean that the sculpts that originated from 2001 to 2006 for this line will always have that sort of self-righteous, way too high on their own horse look. The parents, Veronique, Emmeline, Romaine, Vanessa, Violaine, and Eugenia, who married into the family, they are the sons and daughters of Count and Countess Perrin of Monaco. Veronique is the CEO of a major beauty corporation educated in Paris. Her best friend is Adele Makeda. Her love interest is Pierre de Vries. Her bitter rival is Natalia Fatale. These dolls are basically the lifestyles of the rich and famous. Adele Makeda is the daughter of an African diplomat. Kyori Sato is her enemy. Kyori is mostly a corporate spy whose love interest is Darius Reed. All the dolls linked to this story will have sort of a haughty look, a slight eyebrow raise and downward gaze that to me is just displeasing. I personally don't want to pay $100 or more for a doll to look down on me. Most Integrity dolls I own do not have this look, but I do have several from this time period, mostly males because guys are just hard to collect. I also own Adele because a blonde mohawk afro? Of course I'm going to own her. But I was pretty sure my sister owned all the snobs. And guess what? She doesn't. Turns out she also didn't like having snooty dolls and didn't like their snooty expressions. So she weeded them all out of her collection and sold them. I didn't even know that she did that. And with the money, she bought more Poppy Parker and East 59th dolls. She prefers them because of their softer expressions. As you might have noticed, I feel like I'm a little different than many content creators I watch on YouTube. They keep every brand separate. However, to me, if the doll has a similar aesthetic, then they get shelled together. Integrity, JHD, Barbie, Defalucy, Naturalisas, Fresh Dolls, Zhen, all together. There's so many different looking people in the world, and we blend together as one. Someone might ask, how many of these do you have? I don't have an exact count. But technically, I own one of every listed sculpt, and for the most part, one of every named sculpt, with the exception of 2, I think. And for those, I have a close sculpt match. Basically, the same sculpt, same skin tone, but released maybe a different year. As I've mentioned before in another video, I am willing to stretch my budget for a black Integrity doll. And this time it's no different. In fact, I have my eye on either the black Ollie Lawson or Preston Woods. It's the same sculpt, different hair. And I was also daydreaming about Gene Therapy Tobias. But the fact of the matter was I didn't think that doll would ever come within my price reach. There are just some amounts of money on dolls that even I have to side-eye myself on in regards to spending that kind of money. But someone in Taiwan put Gene Therapy Tobias for sale at a price that was so reasonable to me. It was unbelievable. I snatched him right up. I'm one of those horrible girls that loves tall men. But don't worry, guys. I'm short, so everybody's tall. That's one of my favorite things about pairing a male Integrity doll and a Barbie is the way they loom over her. I adore the long stretch of torso and back that Integrity males have. They're just taller and broader. I'm pretty biased because my first Ken dolls that I had when I was young were 12-inch G.I. Joes. And remember when I said I own one of every sculpt? Yeah, you could probably take that list and multiply times 2 and be fairly close. This is not even my second Tobias Alford. Apparently he's one of my favorite sculpts. I have him in a variety of skin tones with varying facial hair patterns and hairstyles. I have him in light honey, A-tone, and FR black. I own the gem version of him, Anthony Julian. But like you, Annie, I like when my male dolls have a lot of hair on their head, and Gene Therapy Tobias has a thick head of curls that I adore. All Homme dolls have articulation at the ankles, knees, wrists, and elbows, and full rotation at the shoulders and hips. His head, though, does not tilt on this particular model of Homme body. It just goes left and right. Their hands are removable to dress them. The guys usually don't come with eyelashes, though my newly released Darius Reed did have eyelashes. So looking at what he was originally dressed in, he has on a dark blazer, a striped dress shirt, dark jeans, and khaki shoes. And underneath that, he has a gray V-neck knit top. The dark jeans and high tops are probably going to be the easiest part. He also has on some necklaces, which I'm going to ignore because I usually don't put their jewelry on. Mostly because my hands and eyes don't like to cooperate in putting those tiny latches together. As if by foresight magic, I just got in a gray sweater dress from AliExpress, and I'm going to see if it will work as his V-neck sweater by flipping it around backwards. Based on the original, I think I'm going to be able to get pretty close. I mean, if I wanted to, I could throw on a black coat. Probably will leave him with just the knit on, honestly. But for the thumbnail, let's go ahead and steal some similar shoes to get them fairly close to the original style. And I'm going to put this coat on them. If you're wondering, it's from Zizzle's Jack Sparrow doll. I've literally been buying the dolls to steal their clothes. So I think I've shown you a good majority of my Integrity Home collection. And I just want you to know at this point, unless I'm super attracted to a new Integrity Home release, or a black version of a Sculpt comes out, or Craig Phillips drops in price, or Preston Woods drops in price, the darker one, I technically am done collecting Integrity dolls. And as you've seen, there are a lot of Integrity dolls that do not have snooty faces. But when you spot one, just know that they belong to the original Sculpts that had a storyline. Catch you in the comments, and thanks for playing dolls with me.
Anyone wanna play with me? If you like that video, you should consider watching one of these. Watch this one. Do it. Do it now. You're not doing anything about it. You know you're not. Oh, and like it and subscribe.